Ciao ragazzi, I'm Danilo and welcome back to another video. Today I am at the Guitar Summit and I am with my friend Felipe. And as you can see, we are really excited to be here.
Yeah.
Today we're here because we are showing you the brand new BBD delay pedal from Beatronics. And I have the incredible honor of doing this video with Felipe, which is none other than the founder and owner of Beatronics and the genius behind those pedals.
I'm trying.
Yeah, you're doing really good so far.
Okay.
I would like you to introduce us to the pedal.
Yes.
But also explain us why it's called the BBD, because there's a very cool story behind it. I mean, I'm not sure if everyone knows that, but there's a reason why these delay pedals are called like this.
BBD, Bucket Brigade. It's a style of making a delay, an analog delay. I mean, you could do a tape delay or you could do a Bucket Brigade.
Do you know the story of the Bucket Brigade?
You mean the story of passing the bucket?
Yeah, exactly, because I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And it's actually fascinating. Basically, the story is that it's a term coming from the firefighters, right?
Yes.
So when they're passing each other, the bucket with the water, every time they pass the bucket, a little water spills out of the buckets.
Yeah.
So the water inside changing and gets lost. And that's the philosophy behind
Similar
this.
concept.
Yes, a similar concept to these delays, right?
Which, yeah, instead of the buckets is using series of capacitors and transistors.
True.
If you check out, there is a really cool poster of the pedal that has the bee firemans.
I saw that. That's why
yeah.
I thought about this story.
Yes,
it's super fun. So basically, this is not just an ordinary delay.
Yes, no. I mean, you could use as a basic delay, like similar to whatever other Bucket Brigades would do, and then you can go further.
Exactly. And actually, that's the main reason why you're here.
You know, we have 3 modes on this pedal, so I'll start by explaining how the pedal functions.
Exactly, yeah.
So we've got three different modes that it can be selected by this toggle switch right here. So you have classic, you have lo-fi, and you have pitch. These modes, they relate to the way the modulation on the delay happens. So classic is sine wave modulation, which is the traditional modulation for delay. And the traditional modulation on Bucket Brigade delays, you know, if you play like a Memory Man, you know, that's the type of modulation that you're going to get. Then you have controls for rate and depth for the modulation. All the other controls, you know, are the basic delay time, repeats, mix. The mix is pretty interesting because you can go full wet if you go to the right. In the center, you're half and half, and then here is full dry. So you also get the kill dry effect if you want by just raising all the way up. And then the tone control is a very unique control as well because it goes from low pass to high pass. It has 2 different signals, a low pass signal and a high pass signal that gets blended. And then you can find that sweet spot. No, I don't know of any other Bucket Brigades that do the high pass. They are mostly low pass because you're usually trying to actually make it darker, because the more delay time that you start expanding, like this one has 2 Bucket Brigades, so you would be on a clean delay time of roughly 600 milliseconds. Above that, you start getting noises and things, and that's usually...
So you want to cut them out?
Yeah, usually like people will have a pretty strong low pass. On this one, you have both ways, and you will hear throughout why and the things that it do. And it's pretty magical, I would say. With that said, so basic modulation, sine wave modulation is the traditional that you would have. That's where probably most of the traditional players would sit at. I will say a lot of the traditional players will also really like our lo-fi mode. Basically, it has an irregular shaped wave, so more like in a tape style kind of like, so it's not pulsating, it just happens, and you can set the rate if you want it to just happen every now and then, or if you want it to happen like consistently. But then we're also modulating the tone control at the same time that we are modulating the delay time. So the repeats get brighter and darker as they kind of shift up and down. So it's pretty interesting. Explaining it sounds complex, but hearing it's just like...
So let's do that.
Let's do it.
Let's play it.
It's sounding pretty like a phaser-ish.
Exactly.
Right? Like,
It seems like you have way more than just delay. It seems like you have modulation, delay, reverb, and everything at once.
yeah, on the lo-fi word, that's modulating on its own.
Okay.
If we put it, for example, on classic, you can really hear the high pass and low pass. Like, check it out, mix at maximum. So high pass.
Okay.
You could even use it like if you turn the delay time to 0, you could use it almost as like a filter, like a weird little filter. Just from that, there's a lot of different tastes of delay.
Exactly.
On the high pass, I really like on the high pass for some like reggae stuff and dub. It sounds pretty unique and different. But as you can see, you know, like it kind of takes the repeats out of the way depending on the complexity harmonically of what you're playing. If you want like a delay, for instance, I was just down there and somebody brought in a bass and we were playing with a bass. On the bass, the high pass is really good because you are cutting off all the low end and the repeats are still sounding, but they are not all getting all messed up together, you know, with the original circuit. So I want to tell you before we jump into pitch, which we're really gonna get crazy on it, talk about the performance features, which are, of course, some of the highlights of the pedal. So basically, as you were playing, I just went into tap tempo and I just tapped, right? So basically, this toggle right here controls what this foot switch is going to do. In the center, we are on tap tempo, so basic tap tempo. You press tap it,
of course,
and you get the tempo that you want. You can also set the tap division for it. You just hold this foot switch and go through here, and then you just set the subdivisions that you want. Pretty basic. It can also be used to restart the LFO from the modulation, but that gets more complex, and I'll explain in another opportunity. Next, to the right, we have mod. So what's mod? Let's set an extreme modulation just so it gets pretty easy to hear. So mod, you can turn on and off modulation. Right now, we are obviously on a ridiculous setting, but just for purpose of hearing it.
Of course.
But basically, you know, you can latch on and off, or you can momentarily turn on and off, and it understands when you just hold, like similar to other Beatronics stuff. So you could use this as think of as a preset. I have delay with modulation and I have delay without modulation. That could be used in that way if you just want to turn it on modulation, turn it off, whatever. But then you can also use it as a momentary trigger of things, which can be pretty cool in a variety of scenarios. On this crazy, insane thing that we were just doing, play something, so we... do that kind of stuff, or just a subtle, you know, thing of like bringing in some modulation. So that's mod. And then next what we have is 2x. So 2x, it's a taste of the pitch mode within any mode that you're in. So basically, it will double the speed time. When you double the speed time, you pitch up 1 octave, and when you double the speed down. You pitch 1 octave down. So this gives you a taste of that. So basically what you can do is you can double the speed with a tap, right? And then if you hold it, it will go up when I touch and go down when I let go.
You can get very creative with this.
Yeah, you can go insane on it.
Yeah.
If you throw a phrase within the delay time, like for example, I'll set a slow one, like play something just like tagadoo.
Okay. That's so cool. And it can go for a long time.
It goes for a long time. That's one of the things that I wanted to do it on the pedal, which is for us to have a feedback control that you have the option of going crazy on the self oscillation thing, but I wanted to have a sweet spot where it can feel like a droning thing, where it stays there. So like play something clean, like, or something like more chill. Let's see.
You just go there.
That's where we get with the pitch shifting mode, which we haven't tried yet. So pitch shifting. So you can set different tempos to it. The tempo of the LFO is always synced to the delay time, so you can do, that's the idea, kind of like a lot of it is like listening to the movement and then playing with the movement.
Exactly,
and
that's what I was trying to do.
Yeah, exactly, that's very...
It's actually a delay that it's super fun to play. It's fun to experiment with.
That was certainly the goal. I feel like in many ways, Bucket Brigade delay kind of like, since its conception, since it exists, it didn't really, there was not many people exploring a bunch, you know, like Chase Bliss did some cool stuff with the Terme, which this certainly draws inspiration from it, which I'm a big fan of Joe, and there's not much to like in ways where you can like do the expressive things and like, and even the thing with the lo-fi, like the lo-fi mode, I feel like a lot of traditional players will really love. For me, it has some like Pink Floyd-ish vibes. It's almost like if you had a univibe on the feedbacks, you know. And was a mode that came out as we were developing on, kind of was one of the last things. We knew we wanted something with a irregular shape wave. But the whole thing of modulating the tone came at the end where we were like, oh, wow, this sounds magical. Yeah. And I feel like a lot of players are going to grab this thing, and when they go into lo-fi mode, they're going to find themselves in a place where they really like it.
And speaking of Pink Floyd, I do have that challenge for you.
All right.
Now I'm going to play one Pink Floyd riff.
All right.
It has a very good delay.
All right.
And I want to hear how would you approach to create that delay, or how would you recreate from scratch that riff?
Let's play something. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna start getting crazy with it. Okay.
Go, go. That's so cool. That's an incredible delay pedal. Of course, does what a traditional pedal delay does, but it can do way, way, way more.
It's a cool thing for you also to have it as like, you know, it's a pedal that can pull many tricks. So like if you have it,
Yeah.
let's say, you know, you're doing a gig that you want the regular delay, you can have it as your regular delay, and
Exactly.
you just can toggle into becoming also.
Yeah, exactly.
Like
I mean,
yeah.
you can go crazy, but not that crazy that it becomes unusable.
Yes.
Okay, what can I say? Thank you so much for taking the
Thank you,
time
so good to see you.
showcasing me
Yeah.
the pedal, because it was worth it to have you
Thank
showcasing
you.
it.
I'm glad we came.
So, huge thanks to Face Audio Distribution and Felipe for showing me the brand new Beatronics DVD. And I'll catch you in the next video. Ciao!
Bzz, 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 bzz.